Anime Gypsy here with Boku no Hero Academia Season 2, Episode 20 review. Now, this episode overall was pretty nice, but I have a lot of gripes in terms of animation and stuff like that. The events that happen in the story, some I would call filler, but I've never read the manga, so I can't. Um, Overall, it's a very nice episode. I really like the events that occurred there in terms of the reveals when it comes to One for All and All for One, and the origins of One for All and All for One. And I really like that story, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna get more later. Probably manga readers know what's coming later, but I don't. I'm planning to read the manga as soon as I go back to the U.S. Um, but other than that, there's in terms of story progression, there are four main parts. The first part is the classroom before training, where they are all talking about what they did during the events of the internships, and basically we don't get new details. We just get a revision of what goes on. The only thing new we get is grape juice. I'm just gonna call him grape juice. Grape juice sees like just gets pounded by no, not that type of pounded. He gets really intimidated by Lady Mount. Just nah. Oh, by the way, a little note there. A guy that the voice actor for Grape Juice in the English dub is actually the same voice actor for Tony Chopper in the English dub. Uh, Brina Palencia, I think her name is, but I'm not sure. Okay, that aside, that little scene in terms of story progression, nothing much happens. We just get to see them talking, and basically they're all concentrating on Ida, Shoto, and Midoriya because of the events with Stain. Um, and then after that, we get the second part in terms of story progression, which is when they're outside training, and we get to see Midoriya showing off. Well, not showing off, displaying his newfound capabilities during an athletic event at his academy. And that was nice because you get to see people not underestimate him as much, because they they kind of knew him as that one person that gets one shot in and then he's out. But now it's different, obviously, and they're noticing him more. Um, so that's nice. And then we get the scene with the third point of story progression, the scene with All Might and Izuku Midoriya, and where he explains the origins of One for All and All for One, how All for One and One for All are basically well, One for All came from All for One, and that event happened because one sibling gave the other sibling, through his quirk, an ability to suppress and contain quirks, but the other guy already had an ability to pass on quirks, so that's the origin of One for All, which is very nice. It's a pretty interesting story. I honestly originally thought it was some lab stuff, but apparently not. Um, and then finally we get, well, before that scene, there's the locker room scene where Grape Juice tries to sneak a peek at some women. So that's the third point, and the fourth point is Izuku Midoriya, and so on and so forth. The final point, the fifth point, which actually occurs after the credits, is a sneak peek at the user of All for One, and him saying that he thinks the current guy that we've been seeing in the League of Villains, his name escapes my mind, the guy with the rusting capability, he wants that guy to be the next wielder of All for One, the same way All Might wants wants you know wants Izuku Midoriya to be the new holder of One for All. And I think in order to do that, he'd have to get his hand on All Might and suppress All Might. If that's at all possible for him at this point of time, which I don't think it is, obviously. Now, overall, there's this one scene where All Might's kind of trying to tell Izuku that he doesn't think he's gonna make it very long. He thinks he's gonna die, and that's such an emotional scene. I honestly don't like the soundtrack. I think it cuts short. Just nothing much to it. That's all I think about it. And other than that, I have some gripes about certain points of animation, especially the training scene when Izuku does this jump, and it kind of looks funny. So because of the music and because of that scene, I'm gonna give it a somewhat low score. It's it's a 2.5. It's not good. It's not bad. It's okay. Um, the reveals are amazing. So, mm, you know what? I'm just gonna say 2.7. It's a 2.7 out of 5, which is big because they're reels, but I just didn't like certain points in animation and music. But it was a pretty nice chapter overall. And this is Anime Gypsy, and I'm out. But if you like this video, please like and subscribe. If you didn't, please comment why down below. And until next time, this is Anime Gypsy, and I'm out.